All right. Good morning. Good morning, Sergey. We'll get started here in a couple minutes, guys. Uh, 5 past the bottom of the hour. Good morning, Sepadia. Good morning, Sneaky Bass. Good morning, Tracy. We'll get started here in a few minutes, guys. I just want to give folks a chance to join. Good morning, Simo. While we're waiting for folks to join us, I do have the risk disclosure up, so you're welcome to review that. We'll review it here in a few moments, and we'll continue with our regular session. Good morning, Shadow. Hopefully, everyone had a good trading day yesterday. I managed I think one trade in crude oil. Was actually inside initial balance trade. Hey, DRE trader. Good morning. It was actually a kind of a part of a failed auction trade in crude oil. So, all right. Let's see. We'll go ahead and get started here, guys. Just again, just going to go through the risk disclosure. Again, to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It is not for every investor. An investor could lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital, money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle, should be used when trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, we can go ahead and move into the to see what we have in the way of news. Okay, so we're going to review what we have in the way of news here. Looks like we have a relatively heavy day, I would say, of news coming in today. So something definitely to be aware of. Okay. So we have jobless claims that have been reported that came in better than expected. We have continued jobless claims that did not come in better than expected. We have Fed member Hammock speaking at 8:45. We have PMI coming in at 9:45, manufacturing coming in at 9:45, composite PMI coming in at 9:45. We have new home sales coming in at 10 a.m. We have 5-year tips coming in at 1 p.m. And then we have the IMF meetings happening throughout the day, which again could cause some volatility. And obviously, last but not least, we always have the regular option expiration event that happens daily at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. So just some things that we want to be make note of in our basically make note of to understand, and to avoid in some cases anything that could potentially cause the markets to move in ways that we don't anticipate, right? There's nothing worse than having a unanticipated event mess up a good plan. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten the the news out of the way, we'll go ahead and start to look at the markets here. All right. We're going to go ahead and open up. Actually, it states crude oil, but we're going to be moving this to. I was kind of looking to see where price was reaching here on crude oil, but we're going to start with a gold chart. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and remove a lot of the indicators that we use. All right. I'm just going to leave the 233-day EMA. I'll leave the overlay, higher time frame overlay here. We're going to go ahead and move to the daily chart. All right. We're going to shrink this a little bit and basically ask ourselves a question. What is the market trying to accomplish? Well, since I don't know, as far back as I can remember, gold has been on this upward move. Okay. And the slope of this move has gotten stronger, I would say, as since August. Okay. We've been on a very steady climb. We made higher highs and higher lows in this market. Okay. As evidenced by the price. Okay. We have higher high, higher low, higher high, and potentially a higher low. I don't know if this is the last of the pullback here, but nonetheless, we are in very much bullish structure in the market. Okay, and this is supported by volume delta. Okay, we have a positive volume delta indicating that we have a more buying, okay, than selling. Okay, all right. All right, looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, okay. Similar vein, okay. We again continue to make higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Now, what's a little bit different here is that we actually made a newer low, right? But that did not translate as maybe how one might expect. Um, the market did not kind of move into this move lower. Actually, it found some buyers. Okay, but it did break some structure. Now, the important thing to note here is technically we have not made a new high of late. Okay, but we have had a series of bullish candles ever since the close of the market. Okay, so we had a day, right? A day where markets were bearish. Okay, as soon as the day closed, we started to resume our move to the upside. Okay, all right. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, if they're looking at the 30-minute chart, I'm going to go ahead and expand this as much as I can here. All right, so looking at this, okay, so first order of business for me is understand where we are with respect to this average daily range. And you can see here that we've exceeded it. Okay, and not only have we exceeded it, we've reacted away from it. Okay, so this was the average daily range. This is the pretty much the start of London. Okay, so start of London, we continue to grind higher. Okay, now how far can this go? Well, there's really outside of maybe where it's at right now. I see that maybe there might be some resistance here at 27.53, but I really don't see any reason why price cannot return or revisit the top of this swing. Can you got Reading Tiger? Can you not see this? Am I frozen to you? Can you guys still hear me? I'm not exactly. Okay, good. All right. I'm not sure what to make of Reading Tiger's comments here. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So here we are. So I don't see any reason at this point. Like I said, what was supportive was kind of breached here at 2753. Okay. But really, I don't see any reason. I don't see anything that stands in the way of price coming back to revisit some of the highs here. Okay, so I see that price has a clear path. Again, this is the only area that I see. And I'll go ahead and draw a little horizontal line here. Okay, somewhere in that range, but it looks like we're already exceeding it. Okay. I really don't see any reason why we can't get back up to 2667. Okay, maybe as high as 2770. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and locate our levels. Okay, so here are our levels. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up our value area. All right, you can see that price has reacted off of value, right? Price reacting away from value. We have our, let's see, open up our initial balance range. I may need to adjust this because I was looking at this from London's perspective, or actually Asia's. So move this to New York. Okay. You can see here we're establishing a relatively normal, I would say, initial balance range. Okay. So let's go ahead and spot check. Was just kind of spot check some of these levels that I've identified here. We have I didn't actually add average session range here, so let's go ahead and add that. So we have average session range here. So as I was saying before, while I don't see any reason why we can't get up to wrong price. Oh yeah, that's the wrong prices. You're right. Let's sorry guys, I was looking at NASDAQ. So let's get rid of this. Okay, this looks a little bit better. All right, so let's spot check some of these levels here, shall we? Okay, so we have settlement price coming in at 27.29. We have value area high coming in at 27.46.9. We have prior value low at 27.22.10. We have point of control at 27.31.3. Okay. And we are above all of that. Okay. We're above all of that. Okay. So indicating to me that the bulls remain very much in control of this market. Okay. Yeah, we're not quite there in GC, correct? We're not in the 20,000 range, but who knows? Maybe someday. All right. So in any case, we have a lot of indications that there is still a fair amount of momentum to the upside. Okay. Right. I'm gonna see if I can stretch out my volume delta indicator here, and we see a buying wick coming in here. So there's still a fair amount of buying coming into this market. Okay. So what would be some hypos? Well, let's go ahead and add VWAP. Okay, so we have the blue line is our VWAP. We're going to go ahead and add an anchored VWAP. Not so much in London because I don't really see, that there is any sort of pivot here as more of a continuation. So I'm actually going to draw my anchored VWAP right at this level here. Okay, the place at which we start to make the turn. Okay, so I would say that any level, I mean, again, one of the reference levels that I'm going to use, price reference levels that I'm going to use to support this market is the daily VWAP here, which also corresponds to average session range low, and then my anchored VWAP. Okay, these are both locations where I can manage my risk and participate to the upside. We are getting currently a rejection of value, all right, to the upside, right? So again, this might not necessarily be a bad area as well. Okay, me personally, I'm going to wait for initial balance to establish in another 45 minutes and then decide, okay, well, not decide, but let price decide which direction they want to take the market. Okay. And assuming that this is the initial balance range, well, my first view is let price exceed initial balance and then have me participate at the top of initial balance for a move back to the upside. Okay. That would be kind of my I guess hypo number one. Okay. Now we are a bit extended. All right. This is a little bit more counter trend trade, but we are a bit extended to the upside. So there might be an opportunity where we get, something where we head higher, right? Maybe hit something like this extension area or this ADR or ASR, and then we reverse back to VWAP. Okay, that would be another scenario. Okay, because I do see that we're a bit extended to the upside. So those are a couple of hypos, guys, that I want to share with gold. Unless there's any sort of questions, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Right now I've drawn a little bit the bounce or buying tail was off of a 30-minute 2MA after jobless claims. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know, right? So again, it's good to see that the 200 EMA is offering us, good locations to support reversals of trades. We could even potentially use that as a reference level, Frank. Okay, if we're not too far away from that, that 200 EMA could serve as a reference level where we can, place our stop below, and as long as price remains above the 200 EMA, then we're good, right? So yeah, that's good. That's good. Good information. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move on. Move on to the crude oil chart. Okay, crude oil actually sold off here overnight. Okay, it was on a very nice move to the upside. I participated over here at some point. I think I participated in some sort of short here after the EIA. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn off some of these levels. Let's take a look and see what this market is offering us in the way of opportunity. Okay, and let's start by looking at the daily chart. Okay, by looking at the daily chart and ask ourselves the question: what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, similar to gold, we are in this series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, we have also made some lower lows. Okay, so we had some lower lows and potentially lower highs. right? We have a lower high here, potentially a lower high here. Okay. So when you have things in both directions, that indicates that maybe you are in some sort of consolidation range, right? It does appear that we might be in a larger, some sort of consolidation area. Okay. Right. So again, when we have series like this, that's kind of what it leads me to believe. Okay. I'm looking at the volume delta, and I'm seeing that there's a fair amount of pressure to the downside. I'm looking at the ADX indicator, and that ADX is really telling me a whole lot about nothing. Okay, a lot of overlapping DI, positive DI, and negative DI, and the ADX indicator itself is kind of sloping down. So really not telling me much in the way of direction here. Okay, or lack of is probably better, right? Lack of direction at the moment on the daily. Okay, moving into the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart, we have the ADX indicator, momentum indicator falling. We have the DI kind of maybe picking up a little bit of steam here. We do have the price providing us a potential bearish engulfing candle. Okay, we have volume delta as negative. So if this continues in this way, that this could lead to something that where we kind of continue to fall from here. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart. All right, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, we have the negative DI has crossed above the positive DI, but now is kind of sloping down. Actually, everything's sloping down. We have a positive volume delta. Okay, although the volume is not super impressive. Okay, we are price is below our daily VWAP, which again could, assuming that it holds. Okay, this holds this level at 71.34. Let's see. No, actually 71.70. This could lead us to maybe a continuation move to the downside, as long as price can stay below this daily VWAP. Okay. Let's see. I'm assuming this is top of London. No, not quite. This is probably in that London time frame. I'm going to go ahead and add a anchored VWAP. Okay, to this point here. Okay, so there's another price that's closer, another level closer to price. Okay, so this would be kind of a first indicator here on whether or not my view of the market is accurate, right? So we have our anchored VWAP. Again, if price remains below it here, then again, I feel like there's some room to the downside in this market. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our, let's see, shrink these down here, guys, so I can get to my indicators. So first thing I'm going to open up here is our value area. Okay, so this is our value area from yesterday. You can see that we've reached it and we've reacted away from it. Okay, but we still have not opened. The market is yet to open here, right? So we're about 5 minutes away from this open of the market. Now, if price does close inside value, well, we can get a full rotation of value. That's probably not super impressive because we have a relatively narrow range of value. Probably the result of the fact that folks were waiting for the inventory report to happen yesterday. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels to this chart, and then we'll confirm some of them. Okay, so here we are. There's our levels. All right, not in the 20,000 level, but more reasonable here. Okay, so we can see here that our value area high is 70.94, where that's good. We have value area low at 70.48, which is good. 70.78 is our point of control. We're going to go ahead and open up ADR, you can see we got a nice reversal here off of ADR. Okay, price came up to ADR and reversed away from it. That happens more often than not. These levels, these ADR levels, provide us good opportunities. Okay, all right. So let's see. Next level I'm going to add here is ASR, but I also understand that this could change here a little bit given the open of the market. It's going to happen here probably in about 4 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and modify this. It's already currently London. We'll spot check this. We have 72.53. Okay, 72.53. All right, 72.53. And then ASR low at 70.62. 70.62 is our ASR low. All right, so I'm just going to copy this here. Yeah, I'm just going to update my spreadsheet here, guys. Okay. All right. Well, right now, I would say we might be looking at an opportunity that would lead us bearish. Okay, in this market, I'm seeing a relatively nice, potentially reversal away from anchored VWAP. Right. So, and maybe an opportunity that will lead us back down to value, maybe through value and all the way through value. Okay. So, probably not thinking anything bullish in this market unless we can get above this prior 15-minute candle. Okay, so I would say that as long as we stay below let's call it 71.45, okay, then I would say that this area is a bit resistant. Okay, all right, so this area is would be a nice area to potentially. So it would be interesting for me now that we managed to develop this bullish candle. How well did this current candle closes here in a minute? Okay, all right. If it does close and maybe eats away at most, if not all, this, then maybe that will be the catalyst for a continuation move to the downside. Now, if we manage only to create a doji candle, a candle of indecision, then maybe there's the possibility that we do head higher. But I need some evidence. I need something that tells me that that's in the cards. And the way they do the way I figure that out is through through price events, through price action. Okay. So right now, I would say that I would be leaning a little bit bearish in this market. Okay. Target maybe down to ASR low, maybe all the way through value. Okay, is a possibility. All right. So, and I'm not really bullish on this market until I see price get above. It needs to break some sort of price structure to the upside before I change my view. Okay, so that's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the open of the market here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the initial balance. Okay, I'm going to change the initial balance not for London, but for the session. Okay, and there's our initial balance range. Okay, so again, if we are not able to make a new low here, this could be an area where we could see a reversal. All right. This bearish candle did, I would say, eat away at maybe a good half of this candle, but really for me to turn my to think continuation, it probably needed to eat away at more at this candle here. So again, my initial hypothesis that I had mentioned as far as a bullish trade, I would say that if we get a break of 71.45, that could lead us higher. Okay, back up to maybe the highs of London. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw my. Oh, I already did an anchored VWAP. So yeah, if we can get above that, that would kind of lead me to maybe higher prices. If not, then My next hypo is that we head lower. Okay. So this is kind of my line in the sand. 71.45. Short below, long above. Is kind of where I'm seeing right now. Got at 71.45. Okay. All right. Just checking to see if there's any other questions or comments. I'm going to make a comment, and the comment that I'm going to make is that I want to encourage folks. I've been through a couple of instruments here. I'm going to encourage folks to, hit the like button. All right. If what I'm sharing is supporting your analysis of the markets, if you enjoy the analysis, I'm going to also encourage you guys to comment when you do find these postings on various social media platforms. I'm going to ask you even to comment, and then if you want to be regularly advised, again, I'm toying with the idea and the possibility of maybe having a 1 hour kind of more active session where we're kind of as a group identifying levels and locating trades, right? So if you want to be a part of that, then we can you want to subscribe. Okay. So that's my marketing. All right. For the, I don't, like I said, I I want to bring value, right? And I'm hoping that value will translate to improve trading from all of you, right? But I also understand that there's a fair amount of commitment that I'm making in bringing this content to you, right? And really, the only way that I can get to a place where I'd like to be with this is for your participation. Okay, so again, I want to thank those who are the folks that are consistently attending, consistently commenting, and encourage the others to do the same. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move over now. Crude oil is still trying to figure out exactly which direction it wants to take this. At one moment, I'm thinking bearish. Another moment, I'm thinking that maybe it's building up some momentum here to the upside. Okay. All right. Let's let's go ahead and move on to the NASDAQ. All right. Will I take an IB if it widens? Frank, I'm assuming it's Frank. Maybe it's not Frank. Thomas, I would say that the fact that this initial balance range is relatively on the narrow side, okay, is actually better than it's wide, because if I do get an extension of initial balance, okay, regardless of direction here now, okay, either up or down, okay, that gives me an opportunity where I could do one of these things, right? I can then wait for initial balance to come back and then either participate in a trade, right, in either direction, right? Again, you see, I don't discriminate, right? It can go either way. Frankie 4, okay, gotcha. All right. So again, the narrower the range, the more likelihood that we get into a sustained move. Okay. The wider the range, the greater likelihood that we stay in range. So if I'm more involved, if I'm more interested in a trending trade, then I my preference would be that this initial balance range stays relatively tight, because then when it extends, it means something. When it's too wide of a range, I'm afraid that it could fail, okay? And it could reverse on me. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay? All right. A little education as we review the markets. All right, moving on to the NASDAQ market here, okay? So looking at the NASDAQ, we're going to go ahead and remove some of these levels here. A little too busy for me to kind of understand the markets. So, as of late, we've been in this kind of overlapping price action. Okay, I don't know about you, but this market does feel a bit heavy. Okay, and I don't know, maybe it's because I'm seeing a little bit of kind of a rounding rounding top here. Okay. Feels like rounding. All right. Right. So it feels heavy. Okay. It feels that it's having a really difficult time getting higher. Now, with that said, we do have a buying wick, right? And we do have a developing bullish candle. Now, my view on this could change, quite quickly if price manages to get above 25.35 or 535 or 5 or 600. Okay, that view could change quite quickly. All I'm commenting on is the fact that we have a lot of overlapping candles here, and it feels like it's getting a little heavy. Okay, all right, moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, for our chart, we've reached this 233-day EMA, and sure enough, what did it do? It provided us a nice, nice reversal in the market. Okay, we got down to it. Everybody thought, oh, it's breaking structure to the downside. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Right? Nope. Gets down to this EMA level, and it gets scooped up and continue in our trek to the upside. Okay. Again, notice how these levels, this EMA 233 EMA provides us nice reference level to support our trades. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. I'm going to take a little sip of water here because my throat is getting a little dry. All right. We're going to stretch this out here a little bit. All right. So we have a little difference of opinion here. All right. On the 30-minute chart, we got a nice bounce off of EMA. But on the 30-minute chart is a little bit different, right? Now, there's a little bit conflicting here, right? We have price above the daily VWAP, right? I'm going to go ahead. I see a very significant V pattern here, right? Where am I going to, if I see a V pattern like this, do you think that I'm not going to use that as an anchor for my VWAP? Of course I am, right? It's screaming at me, okay, that I should use this as an anchor for my VWAP. Okay, so I have two anchors for my VWAP. One a little bit more close to price, and another more distant to price. So a couple of levels. If I'm a buyer in this market, that I would be interested in participating. Okay, let's go ahead and open my levels. I was wanting to share those earlier, so let me go ahead and do that now. Now, since we're looking at the right market, okay. So we're going to go ahead and add it here. Okay, so there it is. There's our levels. Next thing I'm going to add here is our value area. Now, what's interesting here that's kind of developing, okay, we're about a half hour away, or maybe less than half hour away. We're about 20 minutes away from the open of the market. Now, with the open of the market, if we can get price to close back inside value below this daily VWAP, it could provide us an opportunity for maybe a value area acceptance trade, okay, which would be quite nice, okay. So that's just based on the proximity of price at the moment, okay, right? This could offer us a nice value area acceptance trade, okay. Now, what stands in our way is this 20,300 level, okay, and the fact that price right now remains above value area high and above our daily VWAP, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and spot check. I'm going to go remove this bar here. I'm going to stretch out this volume delta here and see what is it trying to tell me. It says there's a fair amount of buyers coming in. Okay, I'm just going to spot check 364 value area high, 20,081.50 is our value area low. We have point of control at 20,174. That's all good. Settlement price coming in at 20,274. Okay. So everything in order. Now, like I said, right now, it seems that, all our indications, all indications indicate outside of this EMA, all indications are that we are headed higher. Okay. Now, with the open, should we close inside value below VWAP, then it could open us an opportunity for a short trade, okay, to the downside. All right. I see that we had a relatively nice swing to the downside. We've retraced back up to this EMA level. We've reacted away from it. So yeah, so this is certainly in the cards. Okay. Now, if we do make a new high and we get above, let's say 20,450, then we're probably headed back to settlement price at 20,500. Okay. So we're at an interesting area of decision that needs to be made. Does price get above say 20,430, or does price remain below this EMA level and begin to make our trek lower? Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now in the Nasdaq. Okay. So I would say, looking at, if I'm bullish, I want to see price above 430. Okay. If I'm bearish, then I want price to stay below this EMA level, and obviously get a below let's say 365. Okay. Then that might give me some evidence that maybe we get a extension lower. Okay. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait for these markets to open up to make those decisions. Initial balance obviously is not in play at the moment because the markets have technically not opened yet. Okay. Given this kind of structure, given the fact that I'm above all these levels that I'm mentioning, then I have to think bullish, at least initially. Okay. If we cannot get above, or we cannot break structure, then and we start to get below some of these levels that we've already talked about, then I'm thinking bearish. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and move on to the ES. Again, we're going to go ahead and turn off some of these levels. We don't need them right at the moment, at least initially, to kind of get a feel for what the market is trying to accomplish. So we start off with the daily chart. All right, daily chart here. Okay. And we ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Okay. What is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market is obviously, you can see, it's trying to head higher, right? We got a higher high, higher low, higher high, potentially higher low if we are able to break above. Okay. So market seems a bit bullish. Now, if I get more context to this, well, that really doesn't change my opinion. Okay. My opinion remains even more bullish. You're welcome, Frizu. Okay. You can see that we've broken some structure to the upside. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart. We're kind of zooming in on these daily candles, right? Well, we've got prices above our settlement price, prices above our daily VWAP. Okay. Price is retesting an area that was supportive. Okay. This 58.66. Okay. This could possibly be a location where we continue our move, right? Because if you're looking at this on the 4-hour chart, it has a little bit of a slope down to the downside, doesn't it? Right? We're still very much in control of potentially this seller here. Okay. So if I'm a buyer, right, of this market, well, I want to see that price can get above this candle here. If it cannot, then I'm thinking more along these lines. Okay. On the 4-hour chart, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so 30-minute chart really have as of late have not done much of anything. Okay, so I'm looking at this. This is London. We had a push higher, and then we stayed in range. Okay, for the rest of the session, push right at the open, and then we stayed in range for the rest of London. Okay, price is below our 233-day EMA, but above our daily VWAP and our settlement price. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw my anchor VWAP in the same V that I saw on NASDAQ. Okay, there you are. Okay, so and then the next thing I'm going to go ahead and draw is our value area. Okay, similar kind of thing. Price is above our daily VWAP, above our value area high, but below our 233-day EMA. The next thing I'm going to add here is our ADR. Well, we pretty much reached it, or at least within 10%. So this could be a logical area where we could see price reverse away from, and we can use the ADR high as a logical reference level. Not only ADR high, but this 233-day EMA as kind of an area where we can place our stops for an opportunity that leads lower. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's go ahead and add our levels here to this chart, and see where that places us. So here we are adding our levels. Okay, so here are our levels. There we are, levels. And we're just going to go ahead and spot check them. Okay, spot check our levels. Okay, so we have value area high at 58.56, value area low at 58.1150. That's all good. We have ADR high at 58.72, which is correct. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up ASR here, but with the understanding that this could easily change on us. Okay, so I have a reading of 58.9275. That's probably more London than New York. Okay, and then 58.47 on the downside. Okay, so like I said, the average session range will probably adjust here. Okay, will probably adjust once the New York session opens here in about 12 minutes. Okay. All right. So, what are some hypos? Well, the fact that we are up against this ADR level, the first hypo that I think comes to mind for me is that this might be an area where we could potentially reverse away from. Okay. Or reverse away from this zone. Okay. Now, if price manages to get above, okay, with some momentum, all right, then maybe I can use the ADR high, okay, as a area, a reference level to support a bullish trade. Okay, so right now I would say as long, well, for me to really entertain a short, I need price to get below the daily VWAP and ideally inside value from yesterday. If we get price to close back inside value from yesterday, then I would say that we have a potential of a value area acceptance play all the way through value. Okay. If price is not able to get inside value, then I would start to build a case for a trade to the upside. Okay. And that would lead us to maybe as high as 58.9275, which is the ASR high for London. Okay. So those are my two, I guess, hypos that I'm going to be looking for in this market. All right. We don't have initial balance because we're 10 minutes away from the open. We've already have our anchor VWAP. We have our levels. Now it's just a matter of waiting for our initial balance range to establish. And then from there, decide on where the market wants to go. Okay. I'm going to peek here and see if there's any questions. I see some folks already kind of making their way for the exit doors. So price can look above overnight high and fail. Yeah, it definitely could fail above. All right. It could definitely, this is not a very strong high, no doubt. Okay. It definitely could take a peek above and reverse. No doubt. Okay. All right. So yeah, so guys, before I look at that last market, as folks kind of head toward the exit doors as they prepare for their potential opening range, I'm not sure this is a great candidate for opening range, but opening range trade, maybe to the short side, I might be interesting for me. Yeah, as you exit, don't be shy with hitting the like button. Don't be shy with hitting to subscribe, and don't be shy with a comment or two in the wherever you find this recording. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and take a look for those who are interested in the Dow, and then we'll go ahead and close off the session here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up the Dow. We're going to go ahead and take a peek here of what the Dow has to offer as far as price or opportunities, I should say. Okay. So the Dow looks far more bearish than, say, the other markets. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So first things first, we'll go ahead and we'll turn off some of these levels here. Okay. Okay. And we'll open up the daily. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. Are you new to the room, Tracy? I don't remember. I don't recall seeing your name before. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the daily here. Let's see what the market is trying to accomplish. Well, the market of late, I would say has been trying to head lower. Okay. This market, in particular, YM. Okay. It is coming into an area where we could expect maybe some support. Okay. We're coming into an area, congestion area, where we could see some support. It could be the reason why, Shadow, you were making the comment earlier that it's been hanging out at value area low. It's hanging out at value area low because this is an area of potential balance. Look how long price has been in this area. Okay. So it stands to reason that if price comes back to this area, that it could potentially be an area where it stalls. Okay. So okay, excellent. Now that T-Stone is now a name I do remember seeing. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay. All right. So again, so we're at an area on the daily chart that could offer us a bounce. Okay. Could offers us a bounce, right? We've left this area. We've come back down to this area. If whoever these folks were back in October, well, chances are they could come back, right, to this area. If they were interested in buying it here, then chances are they might be interested at these levels as well. But that's not a fact, right? That's conjecture. That's probability. Okay. All right. So on the daily chart, of late, we've been bearish coming into an area of demand. 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart, we have again a series of higher highs and higher lows. No worries, Apex. We're just kind of wrapping up with the Dow, and then the recording will be available on YouTube. You're more than welcome to follow or watch the video there. Okay. We're just kind of wrapping up with the Dow here. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we've made some lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, potentially lower high. Okay. We see that price is below a lot of the things that we care about with respect to reference. So we have it's below the settlement price. Okay. It's below our anchor VWAP, below our daily VWAP. So a lot of and inside bearish structure. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. I don't want to necessarily lose this here. So I'll move it closer. All right. So here we are. We're going to start opening up some of the levels that we care about. And the first one that I'm going to open up is this value range. And you can see here, as Shadow has mentioned earlier, we've been stuck at this lower end of value, I should say, basically since the close of the session yesterday. Okay, we've been stuck at settlement price and value area low. Okay, so the longer, I would say, the longer that we stay here, okay, without making a new low, all right, well, actually, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see in which direction does price break from here. Does it break higher? Okay, in which case might give us some confidence for a move to the upside. Or does it break lower and close below value? Okay, the fact that we are on the low end of value, okay, does not necessarily, and we have not found any buyers willing to participate, could be an indication that we are going to see lower prices. Okay, really minimal participation in interested in the Dow at these levels. Now, if I was on the low end of value, okay, again, if I'm at a grocery store and I'm on the low end of value and I can't get rid of my surplus, what does that mean? Well, that means that I probably need to go a little bit further down to get some of this inventory off my books, right? So doesn't speak well for the bulls at this point, right? If it's coming into an area of value, you would expect that we would see a much stronger move higher from here. And we're not seeing it at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's I said I wasn't going to lose my thing, and I did. All right, let's go ahead and open up ADR here. So we're right in the middle of the range. Okay. We'll double check some of our, well, actually don't have levels here for YM, so we're gonna have to manually create them. All right, so we got ADR high here at 42,883. 42,883 is our ADR high. Okay. We have value area high, which is I think we just got crushed by our ADR indicator here. So value area high is 42,887. 42,887 is our value area high. And then we have point of control. We have point of control at 42,723. Point of control. We have value area low, 42,629 is our value area low. Okay. And then we have, let's see, ADR low here. ADR low is coming in at 42,476 is our ADR low. And then we're going to go ahead and open up ASR here. ASR, that's mainly London, I believe. The market is about to open on me here, so we'll just keep it there and let it adjust. Okay. And I lost my, really? Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, so you see how the ASR adjusted there, guys? And looks like I actually lost my levels. Consolidation has higher percentage to go in previous direction it was before. Okay, David. Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah. So the fact that we're in this range, right, and we got to a place that we think that maybe would have attracted more buyers, well, it didn't, right? It actually, so yes, I would agree with that statement. Okay. So, all right. So guys, so I would say that, we're going to go ahead and open up initial balance here. Okay. You see what the initial balance kind of offers us here. This, honestly, guys, this would be a logical area, okay, to get a little bit of a rally in this market, but that doesn't mean that we have to. Okay. We have our positive DI is still below. We have a volume delta, which I can't see. All right, here we go. All right. We have a volume delta that's starting to show some signs that maybe there might be some interest in these levels. Okay. All right. So I'm with you, David, that the logical thing would be for price to continue lower. But let me ask you this question. Are the markets always logical? Are the markets always logical? No, they're not, right? They're made up of people with, emotions, right? Greed and what have you. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a rally from these levels. Okay, David. So, but I mean, I'm gonna put some conditions on the rally, right? So I want to see price, you know, show me, right? And one thing that I'm going to want to see is that I want to see price get above my VWAP that I just drew there. Okay, my anchor VWAP. It's all hidden underneath there. I need to see price close above 42,700. Yeah, they're going to do what the market wants to do. Exactly. Throw logic out the door, right? While it's logical that it would continue lower, that doesn't mean that it's going to do that, right? Sometimes the markets will do exactly opposite of what we think we should, what they think we should do. Okay, but nonetheless, we could put conditions on what it would take for us to participate, and that condition for me is I need to see price above 42,700. Okay. I need to see price above 42,700 if I'm going to participate long. Otherwise, otherwise, we might be better served in a continuation move to the downside. The only thing that I'm guarded against is I feel like I'm paying retail. I feel like I'm paying retail here. Okay. I feel like I'm playing a premium for a short. Okay. That's the only issue I have here. Okay. But it could very well be the direction that this market ends up going. Okay. All right. I think that is pretty much what I have to say. This value area low and this IB low could serve as a reference level to support maybe a reversal in price. If we do get an extension to the downside, right, then I'm going to use that same level, okay, to offer me an opportunity to the downside, okay. But I need price to extend initial balance. That's my line in the sand, okay, before I'm willing to participate in a short, okay. In much the same way, I'd like to see an initial balance break to the upside, okay, and then I come back and participate on a pullback to the upside, okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, okay. All right, let's shrink this down, make sure this is all very visible to folks. Okay, again, the negative DI still very much in control of this market. We're starting to get the momentum indicator kind of curling up and our DI, positive DI, kind of fading. So it's telling us there's a fair amount of momentum in this bearish move. Okay. All right. So again, I'm gonna close off with one final comment. First of all, I want to thank all my 500 or so subscribers to my portal. Okay, my sincere thanks to those folks, and also to those who have yet to subscribe. I would encourage you to do so. I don't know, so a couple hundred hours away from I guess getting 3,000 hours viewed, okay, which will offer me an opportunity to start to earn. All right, all this time spent reviewing in front of this platform to have some opportunities to earn. So if you would be so kind to I guess in some cases rewatch or some of these videos, okay, that I make available, then those will actually play nice to the algorithms that determine whether or not I'm worthy of some compensation here. Okay. Yes, I get paid. That's the idea, right? We want to get paid to teach, right? Yes, I am very close to that, right? So I'm about, I don't know, I think it was about 150 hours, I believe, from getting to a point where I think I need to see 3,000 hours, okay, before the earning, okay. Siempre nos das una visión clara de los mercados. Thank you so much, Antonio. Okay. There's also guys on the Spanish front for those Spanish subscribers here. There's some exciting news on the docket here for the Spanish participants. We're still kind of in negotiations here a little bit, but there is some for those who are Spanish speaking. There is some exciting news coming your way with having on Top Step TV. So there is very much in the cards. Yeah, Español va a llegar pronto. Okay, quizá en un par de semanas o 2 o 3 semanas vamos a tener un canal dedicada in Top Step in español. Okay. All right. hopefully my Spanish is not horribly broken. All right. Okay, guys. So as David called out, right, the path of least resistance for this market is to continue to head lower. Okay. So maybe we should turn this room over to David. Pues yo soy español. Mi madre es española, pero yo nacido en Estados Unidos. Mi madre es de España, sí, de Galicia. Pero yo estoy nacido en Estados Unidos. Tengo una mezcla de acento de español y de americano. All right, guys. That's a little taste of my Spanish. So again, wish you guys to trade an excellent session today. Continue to trade your processes, continue to trade well, continue to trade like a pro, and be a market trader. Okay, guys. So have an excellent day trading. Like I said, looks like this move down is getting a little bit of steam here. For me, I'm going to wait for this initial balance range to establish before I make any sort of decisions on this market. Okay. My primary focus is going to be on crude oil and gold, at least to start, and then I may move to the equities. All right, guys. So again, don't be afraid with the subscribes. Hit the subscribes, hit the likes. Review some of the videos that I made available on the portal. Just get those hours up to about 3,000. I'm about 2,840, I think, and I need to get up to 3,000 before the earn button opens up for me. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again for all your support. Have an excellent day trading the markets. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.